Just another far-fetched tale too scandalous, too twisted, too Hollywood to possibly be true? But fast forward, and that harmless little whisper has detonated into a full-blown media firestorm, threatening to reshape the very foundations of the entertainment industry. Sean Diddy Combs. Yes, that untouchable titan of glitz, gold, and ego the size of a small country, now finds himself smack in the middle of an investigation so dark, so bone-chilling, that even the most cynical gossip veterans are choking on their popcorn. In a New York federal courtroom, the man once treated like royalty stood not so regally before the judge, and, bless his heart, actually muttered, "I'm a little nervous." A little nervous? That's rich, because what's barreling toward him isn't just your standard-issue legal drama, it's a reckoning decades in the making, the kind that doesn't end with a slap on the wrist and a weak PR tour. With over 120 alleged victims now represented by legal teams that smell blood in the water, the question isn't if a lawsuit will land. It's when and how loud the crash will be when it does. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't your run-of-the-mill celebrity scandal. No, this is something far darker. The kind of thing that crawls straight out of a psychological thriller and dares you to call it fiction. We're not talking about a mogul with too many cars or an overinflated ego. We're talking about an empire allegedly cobbled together not from talent or innovation, but from fear, manipulation, and the kind of control that makes you want to double-check the locks on your soul. Behind the designer curtains of Diddy's multi-million-dollar fortress, authorities uncovered something so chilling, so grotesquely out of place, that even the most jaded federal agents, the kind who've seen it all, reportedly took a long, uneasy pause. Buried beneath the opulence was no wine cellar or celebrity panic room, but a twisted subterranean labyrinth of tunnels, secret chambers, and steel cages straight out of a dystopian fever dream. This wasn't some eccentric architectural flex. These rooms were kitted out with restraints, heavy-duty surveillance, and one mysterious locked vault that just might blow this entire case wide open. And guess what? The nightmare might not even be confined to that one lavish address. Investigators believe these tunnels could snake out to other estates, forming a sinister little underground network no one saw coming. Except maybe in the worst kind of nightmares. But this wasn't just some hidden room tucked away behind a fancy bookshelf. No. This was an entire hidden world buried beneath the surface. Inside that vault, rows upon rows of tapes, some marked with nothing more than cryptic dates and mysterious symbols, like some secret code no one was meant to crack. Rumor has it those tapes could single-handedly shatter the whole case wide open and send seismic shockwaves through the industry's glittering facade. We're not just talking about wild parties that spiraled out of control. Oh no, it goes far darker than that. These aren't just allegations. They're acts so meticulously planned, so utterly degrading, they practically rewrite the definition of unbelievable. And guess who lit the fuse on this whole powder keg? One woman's courage. Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, stepped up first, despite walls built from trauma, fear, and degradation, and dropped a bombshell of raw, gut-wrenching testimony. Her words painted a horror show, twisted freak-off rituals, psychological isolation that would make a cult proud, and surveillance so relentless it blurred the line into full-blown stalking. Her bravery didn't just crack the silence, it shattered it like glass. Since her story hit the spotlight, over 2,300 people have reached out to law firms, and now more than 100 are gearing up for legal battle. Their stories? All variations on the same nightmare: fear, control, and manipulation turned into a dark art form. One woman, speaking through tears and behind a pseudonym in court, put it simply yet devastatingly. "He made me feel like I wasn't even real." Just a quick side note. Some say a little hush money was dangled in front of potential witnesses. Others whisper about thinly veiled threats. And then, well, too many people just straight up vanished like bad Snapchat stories. But then came the tapes and the tunnels. Suddenly, this wasn't just a creepy rumor. It was a full-on haunting nightmare. So, what's the real deal here? One man's private darkness? Or a sprawling beast lurking far beneath the surface? Both online and off, the gossip exploded like wildfire. Theories sprouted faster than weeds, linking Diddy's alleged underground labyrinth to other infamous spots that conspiracy buffs love to chew on. The Playboy Mansion, Epstein's Island, the usual suspects in the dark underbelly tour guide. Could there really be some secret network of tunnels used for smuggling people, drugs, or something even worse? Were these just wild, over-the-top parties gone sideways? Or was there something ritualistic, symbolic, maybe even orchestrated in a way that would make your average thriller writer jealous? Well, guess what? The investigators aren't laughing it off anymore. They're diving in with deadly seriousness, and that should make anyone with a pulse sit up and pay attention. The evidence? Oh, it's getting the full forensic once-over. Names, dates, private flight logs, every little detail is under the magnifying glass. Suddenly, people once considered untouchable, producers, politicians, tech billionaires, are showing up in the shadows. Not officially charged, not splashed across headlines yet, but definitely stepping into the harsh light for the very first time. That vault? Yeah, it could be the fulcrum of the whole mess. If even one tape holds the nightmare the rumors hint at, we're not just talking about taking down Diddy. No, this could bring down everyone who danced in the darkness with him, everyone who looked the other way, everyone who helped keep the lid on this steaming cauldron of secrets. But if the footage itself isn't scary enough, wait till you hear about the encrypted emails investigators say they've uncovered, secret correspondences between Diddy and unnamed associates, filled with coded talk about after-hours initiations, fresh selections, and VIP protocols that sound like something out of a dystopian novel. Analysts say this language points to something far more sinister: organized trafficking, all dressed up in a shiny coat of exclusivity and celebrity glitz. And the money trail? Oh, it's just as grim. Offshore accounts, transactions disguised as real estate deals, the kind of financial smoke that's basically screaming, "Follow me." Millions. Yes, millions. Allegedly funneled into a well-oiled machine of silence, secrecy, and keeping the very wrong people from asking pesky questions. Yet, despite all the cash and cunning, the walls are starting to talk. Former drivers, bodyguards, house staff, those invisible cogs in the glittering machine, are stepping forward. Some admit they were ordered to conveniently shut down security systems during special events. Others ferried around sealed containers between properties with the not-so-subtle instruction to never ever peek inside. One source even claims he once found a guest so utterly disoriented he had to carry her out, only to be brushed off with a cold, "It's handled?" Charming, right? But wait, it gets better, or worse. The most spine-chilling rumor floating around? The so-called list. A secret ledger, supposedly kept by someone close to Diddy, cataloging every guest, their preferences, and what they allegedly did behind closed doors. If that thing surfaces, and if it's real, it won't just topple careers, it could obliterate lives and shatter legacies. And yet, even with all this darkness exposed, many insiders insist we've barely scratched the surface. Some whisper that this is just one tiny node in a sprawling, ancient network, one that thrives in shadow, protected by power, and fattened on silence. As prosecutors dig deeper and survivors find the courage to speak out, it feels like the ground itself is shifting, slowly, painfully, and with a crack that promises to keep echoing. What do you think of this drama? Let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe Celebrity Insider News and press the bell icon for more celebrity gossips. Thanks for watching.